I also have a letter from Will. But this was for you, Jada. I think it was when Will found out that you were coming on the show. And
right.
I was happy that he was able to send this to me and so I could share it with you.
Welcome back to Totally Based. I'm Joey Gaskin, and today we got to talk about this letter that Will Smith wrote to Jada. But before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you never miss out on new content from me. Now let's get to it. All right, so as I'm sure you know, Will Smith and Jada have been in the news a lot lately, and that's because Jada is promoting her new book, Worthy, and in that book, she's dropping a ton of bombshells about their marriage. One of those being that they've not been together, they've been separated for the past 7 years, which of course none of us knew. And so recently she did an interview with Jay Shetty, and in watching that interview, I was really challenged because right now you could type in Will Smith and Jada into Google or into YouTube, and it's just going to come up with a ton of negative things about Jada, a ton of negative things about Will. Oh my gosh, I can't believe her. Oh man, he's a simp. But no one's actually really just looking at it for the simple fact that marriage is hard. And so anyway, just to quickly get to my point, in watching this interview, I realized that I might have been wrong. I think Will and Jada are really just a married couple, just like anybody else. And they have challenges just like anybody else. I don't believe that Jada is maliciously trying to hurt Will. I don't believe that. I believe that framing and context really matter. So anyway, I want you to take a quick look at this video between her and Jay Shetty. And she's just talking about her bond and her relationship with Will. Take a look at this. And when we come back, we'll take a quick look at the letter.
You know, the truth of the matter is, it's like, I'm always going to be by Will's side. You know, when I think about like, if something ever happened to him, it's like, I'm going to be right there. If he needs me, I'm going to be right there. Always. That's just an unbreakable fact. That's the bond we have. You know, we've tried to break it in every which way you can think of. We don't want to be in this lifetime without one another. It's just not going to happen. So we're trying to figure out what that looks like for us. And there's something really powerful about that. I got to be honest. As difficult as it's been, as there's been times that I've hated that fact, having somebody that forces me to have to raise my consciousness, evolve my understanding of love, to deal with the fact of that bond, that's a God-given gift.
Now, when you listen to her, she doesn't sound like a woman who just hates Will. She doesn't hate him. She loves Will. I just think that they have gotten to a point in their relationship and in their marriage where they're not able to figure out how to take the next step. And if you are someone who has a mom and dad who are divorced, you probably have seen this. And it's really quite sad to see couples that have been together for years, and then you see them kind of fall apart as they get older. It's just really sad. And so I just believe that Will and Jada are just one of those couples. They've gone through a lot. Now, to get to Will's letter, Will has read the book that Jada's written, Worthy. And in that book, Jada divulges how she has had suicidal thoughts. She's dealt with depression, and she's looking for healing. And honestly, when I first started hearing her talk and stuff, I was like, man, this woman's always talking about healing, and the way she's talking is just, it irked me a little bit. Like, you know, it felt like maybe that was her way of coding, what she was doing to him. And just kind of like, just saying it in such a manner that she was just brushing it off. But I don't believe that's the case at all after watching this interview. And I'll say this too. A lot of what we are seeing is clips. We got a clip of Good Morning America. We've got a clip of her at the Oscars. We got a clip here and a clip there. To actually see a long form interview where she sits down and she explains her heart, and you actually hear her challenges. And man, I'm kind of mad that I'm feeling soft right now. But where she goes through these things, you start to think, man, that's just real. That's just human. Take a look at her response as Jay reads this letter from Will to her.
I'll just read it, and let's do it in his words.
Okay.
Congrats, Dink. I just turned the final page of Worthy, and damn. I'm gonna get you to do the damn. How would he say it?
Damn.
I just turned the final page of Worthy, and damn. It is amazing to realize that despite having lived most of my life by your side, I still found myself shocked and stunned and caught off guard, laughing, then inspired, then heartbroken. I was all over the place. It's one thing to hear anecdotes at a family barbecue, but it was truly overwhelming to take in your story potently condensed in this way. You are one of one, a rare blend of power and delicate sensitivity. I know it wasn't easy to excavate the depths in that way. I applaud and honor you. If I had read this book 30 years ago, I definitely would have hugged you more. I'll start now. Welcome to the Authors Club. I love you endlessly. Now go get some Merlot and take a rest.
He know I can't have no Merlot. That's beautiful. That's why I can't divorce that joker. Yeah.
There's one line that really hit me, and I want to hear obviously how you felt, but he said, if I had read this book 30 years ago, I definitely would have hugged you more. I'll start now. How did it feel listening to parts of that?
You know, one of the things I talk about in the book a lot is perspective. When we got married, Will had to be 28, 29. We had such different needs. No right or wrong. You know, Will was very driven. But I got married because I was pregnant and I wanted a family. And that, I must say, that was the one thing. We both wanted to create a family we never had. But what we thought took having a healthy family, Will believed, man, as long as I get out here, make money, get the biggest house, make sure you guys don't need anything, that's how you have a great family. And my thing was like, no, but love and, you know, me and you, we gotta da-da-da-da. You know, everything was centered around feelings, love, da-da-da-da. We just couldn't find agreement because we thought we had two different goals around what it took. And so to hear him say that he would have hugged me more is me hearing him say he would have taken a bit more time to listen and understand. And that doesn't mean that he would have to be off his path, but just to take a little bit more time to listen and understand.
One of the things that I thought was really key is she said that when she did the Red Table Talk, Will asked to be a part of that interview. He has to be a part of it. He has to come along. And he wasn't ready for people to know that they weren't together. And I believe that might have just been his pride. And for her at this point, it's been a few years that they've been separated. She's ready to move on. She's ready to heal from, you know, the damage in their relationship. But Will keeps on coming up like we're still married. He wants people to still believe that they're married. He still wants people to see that facade because maybe he's ashamed. I don't know. But when we see things like this birthday post that she did with Tupac, and she didn't actually say anything about Will, and Will saying things about her that sound all great and wonderful, and we're still thinking that they're married, that's on Will. That's not on her. They've been separated for a long period of time. When we see Will Smith get up on stage and slap Chris Rock in his face, and we're like, oh my gosh, he did this for her, and look what she said. Again, it's framed as Will making it look like they are still married, and they have not been. And so a lot of our perception of Jada has been based on the fact that we've thought that they were married. You have to look at that. Like, you have to remember, we have been thinking that they were married, and man, she keeps on making him look so bad. No, they've not been together for 7 years. That's a long time to be separated. And so anyway, you can just hear in this interview just how much she really does still love Will, how much she really does still care about him, and just how much they still actually are in a position of wanting to maybe even fight for their marriage. And so, and seeing the way that she responds to this letter that Jay reads to her from Will, I just felt like maybe we're getting it wrong. Maybe we've got it all wrong. Maybe this is just a married couple that we have all grown up with. And that's why it matters to all of us. We grew up with Will Smith. Will Smith is a part of our youth. He's a part of our culture. I mean, someone who has literally been an icon and embedded himself in layers in our culture. He is somebody that all of us in some facet, and I'll say probably specifically for Black people, have like admired, looked up to, respected, and to see their relationship falling apart. It's like people are immediately mad at Jada. People think that Will Smith is simping out. And really, when in reality, it's really just marriage. These are two people who are fighting to grow together, learn together, walk together, be together. So as they said, they're on this journey of walking home. And so part of me just had to recognize, like, maybe we just ought to give them both some grace and recognize that these are just people. These are just people. I wanted to make this video because I felt like maybe this is something that wasn't being said. It's not take one side or take the other. It's not criticize these folks. It's like, man, it really sucks that this is happening to them. Their family's being split apart, has been split apart. And best thing we really should do for them is pray for them. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, you like the content that I'm bringing to you, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.